girlfriends. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carrie Fitzsimmons.
And I'm Lacey Wilson.
And we're so glad to have you with us tonight. We have a very special program for you. Millie Smith from The Amazing Race Season 4 will be here in just a little bit. But before she comes, we want to tell you about our weekend at Show and Sell.
I had a great time at Show and Tell. I have never actually been. And then we had the wonderful guest last week who told us about the quilt, the quilting ministry, all of the good food and the crafts and the vendors. And I actually ran into you while I was there.
Yes.
And there were so many wonderful, unique, and talented people that were there.
There really were. There really were. And I was just thinking about all the people who made jewelry and all those cute little aprons. And did you see the one vendor? I forget her name, but she had the antique stuff.
Was it the antique jars with the necklaces on them?
Yes.
I loved that.
Yes, and she even had a wreath made out of old hymnal pages, it looked like.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It was really cool.
I saw the booth right next to them. It had some beautiful wool book covers, and I mean, it was just gorgeous stuff, and they were so talented.
Yes.
And one of my friends that we actually went to high school with, Jessica McCarty Brown.
Yes.
She had her first show. This was her first craft show.
Her stuff was cute.
It was. She's called So Mama. So if you want to look her up on Facebook, she's selling baby cloths and
and bibs.
Cloths,
Did she have bibs? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
very cute.
And the food too. Did you try any of the food?
I had chili, and it was good. It was just the perfect. It was the perfect food for a fall festival to get in the mood for colder weather, and it wasn't too hot. Actually,
it was very pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and they had funnel cakes. I didn't get to try the deep fried Oreos.
I didn't even know they had those.
They did. I think they were $3 for $1. I didn't get to try them, so I'll have to try.
Have you ever had one before?
No.
I think I've tried one once, and then I just thought, okay, Oreo in itself is probably not.
I think you can deep fry anything.
Especially in the South.
Yeah.
What did I hear the other day? There was something deep fried. I can't. Something crazy. Yes. And I was just like,
I've heard they're good, but I've never. I don't know. That's a heart attack waiting to happen.
I know, right? As if a Twinkie by itself is not the best for you. Just deep fry it and have yourself a good time.
Happens, yeah.
Also, I helped with face painting for a little bit.
I did see you do that.
Yes,
I did.
And Katie was doing her feathers, which she still has some left.
I actually have one in my house, but it's underneath because I work in an office, and so I didn't want to have some brightly colored feather, and it's actually a very natural color, so that's kind of a neat way to incorporate the trend without going all out.
Yeah. So is it brown? Is it more brown?
It is. It's like a copper color. It almost looks like somebody got a hold of my hair with paint when you see it. But it's kind of underneath, so I can.
And she still has some left, according to her Facebook post.
She does.
She's at Tiffany and Company in Ringgold.
And I think we have a giveaway from her later.
Yeah, in just a little bit. We sure do. But face painting, those kids were so cute. And I'm not an artist, and so
you did a great job. Though I saw one boy he wanted to be a ladybug, and his mom said he had to call himself a man bug.
A man bug. Okay, I didn't do him because I didn't do any ladybugs, but Amy, the girl working with me, she did an awesome job, and she wasn't intimidating at all. She was.
She was that good, huh?
She was very good, and so starting out, my idea of face painting is something small on their cheek. Well, today's face painting is anything but that, and these kids wanted their whole face painted. And so one little boy said, can you make me SpongeBob? And I was very nervous about that, but I think he liked it.
I'm sure he loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Whose booth was that you were painting?
All those proceeds went to the church.
Okay,
Church
great.
Youth Ministry.
I wonder who won the quilt. If you're watching, call us and let us know.
Oh my gosh, between me, my mom, and my grandmother, we had bought a bunch of tickets, and we still didn't win. We have a caller.
Did we? Okay. Caller, go ahead.
Lacey?
Yes?
Do you work for Blood Assurance?
I sure do.
Well, my son works with you.
Oh, who's your son?
Jimmy.
Oh, Jimmy Dean.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he is so sweet. He's one of the nicest gentlemen we have.
Quite a bit.
I'm sorry, what?
He's taught the best you quite
Oh,
a bit.
he's so sweet. Jimmy is always out
So
there.
what your name was, I said, oh, that's that girl that Jimmy worked with.
Oh, he's so sweet. He's always out there in the mornings helping people get in and out of the building. He's just such a
That's
nice man.
nice.
So we're lucky to have him. Well, thank you for calling, and tell Jimmy I said hello.
Well, will. And,
Okay.
it's nice to meet you.
Oh, well, it's nice to hear your voice.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
But all those proceeds went to the church, and then they were selling T-shirts for the church too, and that also went to help the youth ministry.
Oh, I didn't see the T-shirts. There were just so many booths that I just
I know.
couldn't get over.
Did you see the tractors?
I did. You know, I was there with my dad. Well, my whole family was there. And happy birthday, Dad, if you're watching. He
Happy
loves
birthday,
to
Lacey's
watch.
dad.
Today's his birthday. But they had some wood cutting. I don't know the technical
Yes,
name. Did you
yes,
see that?
I saw
And the
that.
men were kind of gathering around watching that. And I never saw the football tent, but I'm pretty sure it was there. I know they had talked about.
I wonder if it was in the same one that the hamburgers.
Oh,
were
it
in?
might have been.
I didn't see it, but I was there early in the morning, so I don't know if I missed it or if they didn't have the TVs out. They also had a cake booth.
Oh, I didn't see that either.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
gonna have
right
to
as
follow
you
next time.
And that one lady that we both enjoyed her booth, she had very cute earrings. And she has an Etsy shop, I believe.
She did. I can't remember the name of her shop.
They
but
were so unique, though.
They really were. And if you've ever been on Etsy, you can also search by local sellers. So you can search for people in Chickamauga, Ringgold, Chattanooga.
Well, that's
and
neat.
see what local people are making handmade.
We have
So
a lot of talent in this area.
we really do. If you happen to have gone to any of the craft fairs this weekend, call us and let us know what you thought about it. If you saw anything that just jumped out at you, we'd love to hear about it.
Absolutely. Well, it was a fun day.
It was. It really was.
Did you stay? Did you stay until the afternoon?
No, I think I stayed until about 1 or so, and then we actually left to go get some food because, well, I had all of my appetizers while I was there, so I had to go get some real food.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we are excited about tonight's show, and in honor of tonight's show, we're going to be talking about traveling a little bit because our special guest has traveled around the world multiple times. And in honor of that, we want to hear from you. If you have gone on a long trip, or if you've just gone to a different state and enjoyed it, or if you would like to go somewhere far away, call us and let us know where. We would love to hear from you.
I was reading over Millie's biography, and it was just so fascinating, all the experiences that she's had and the places that she's been. So
Absolutely.
I definitely need to get out more and
I
travel.
know.
more.
I feel like I've gone nowhere compared to where she's
Right.
been. Where would you like to go?
You know, I've always wanted to go to Paris. I've never been, and I figure that's why they made me take all of this foreign language classes in school. So I might as well go and try to use it a little bit. But we love going on cruises. You can't beat it for the price. And I went to New York once last year for the first time, and I enjoyed that. It was a little more fast paced, and I think I was having a sweet tea detox after a few days. So, but I wouldn't mind going back and just seeing what it's like.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we asked that question on Facebook today, and let's see what some of our friends have said. Okay, let's see here.
And Carrie, you didn't tell us where you'd like to go.
Oh, I haven't. Okay. I think I would like to go to either one of two places or both if I get the chance. I think Australia would be really fun.
That would be fun.
And I think Ireland because my last name is of Irish origin and I would like to visit the motherland.
I've heard it's beautiful. I've never been. But.
Yeah, and around, I guess the last big trip I took was to Chicago. I love Chicago. I've heard mixed things about it from other people who've said, oh, the people are not very nice there, but they were so nice to me there. I mean, it kind of surprised me.
Well, and you can get a direct flight too.
Yeah, now you can, absolutely. And honestly, Lacey, I'd rather fly to Chattanooga than Atlanta because Atlanta's so crazy.
Well, I say that, and the last time I went to the airport, I actually never went anywhere. I went home that night. I got there at 2:00
In
that
Atlanta?
afternoon. And no, Chattanooga. And I was trying to go from Chattanooga to Atlanta. I could have probably just rented a car and got there 3-4 times.
You didn't
over.
go anywhere.
It was actually for a work trip too, and so we had already had hotel reservations, and we had to call and cancel those. But it was weather, mechanical errors, everything that could have gone wrong. So it wasn't meant for me to fly that day.
Wow.
That's what I chalk it up
Well,
to.
I remember when I left for Chicago, my dad was driving me to the airport, and we had left here 4 hours. And, of course, on a good day, it only takes 2 to get to Atlanta. We had left 4 hours in advance just to make sure we'd have plenty of time for travel and to get to the airport on time. And kid you not, I got there like seriously 30 to 45 minutes before my flight took off. I was scared to death that I wasn't going to make it. I was running to where I was supposed to be to
One
catch
of those
my
scenes
flight.
out of a TV
yes,
show.
Yes, and we really, because of all the roadblocks and the traffic, and it was crazy just to think that I was going to miss my flight.
Well, and flying out of Chattanooga does have its benefits because you get past the security in Chattanooga where there's like 4 people online as opposed to 400 when you go to Atlanta.
In the busiest airport, for sure. Well, Glenda on our Facebook says she would go to Alaska because she would want to see all the animals and the beautiful creation God made.
That's a good response. And Glenda was our makeover person on the first episode that we
Glenda,
did.
if you're watching, call us. We'd like to talk to you.
I want to talk about Alaska. I wonder if she's ever gone on an Alaskan cruise.
I think that would be fun.
I've heard they're really beautiful. I've never gone, but
I think that'd be a lot of fun. And then Casey says she would go to Paris, France because of the pastries, fashion, history, and she could finally use what little French that she knows.
Oh, good. See, maybe if I go with Casey, we can come up with one or two sentences together. Maybe that.
I agree with her about the fashion, especially is it Milan?
Milan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or is that Italy?
Italy.
Okay, just kidding.
Same general vicinity.
So, yeah, you could probably take a train there. And then Carla says it's hard to choose just one, and I agree with her. She says today maybe Austria, where the hills are alive with the sound of music.
That sounds nice.
Yes.
That does. I have a friend in college who she actually moved to Austria, and she gets to travel. And that's the good thing about being in Europe. Once you're there, you just take a train ride, to the next country. And she posts some beautiful pictures of places that I normally wouldn't be interested in going, but she just makes it look so fun.
So she just travels a lot?
Well, she's actually living over there now. Her husband is working over there, but the pictures are just gorgeous.
You know where else I'd like to go if it wasn't so dangerous? I think I'd like to go to the Holy Land.
Oh, that'd be
a really cool experience.
There are a lot of church groups that go, and they seem to, they have safe travels. So I guess it's just parts. Like you probably wouldn't want to go to Tel Aviv. Yeah, probably not. But it would be nice though to be able to go.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I guess it's time for a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be talking about a couple of topics that are trending, and we have some weird news for you. Do you run out of money before you run out of month? Are you managing your money, or is it managing you? Come and find out how to manage money in your life. Stephanie Dickert with Stewardship for Life will host 2 classes on October 16th at 5 p.m. and then again on October 22nd at 9 a.m. For more information, call 875-6565. We're sorry about that. We had a little bit of problem with that commercial, but we're going to rerun it again during the next commercial break, so you'll get to see it again.
So we've got some interesting news stories for you here. Some good, some not so good, and some just a little bit odd. So I wanted to share those with you
Some things
tonight.
that you're just like, what? Yeah. I guess we'll start with some good news.
This is definitely good news.
Good and local at that. Lowe's gave a grant to Ringgold High School FFA Club for a barn and a greenhouse.
I didn't actually realize this, but I guess their greenhouse where I know a lot of high schools around the area will grow plants and they sell them to help pay for their programs, and it was actually demolished in the tornado. Now, we heard a lot about, the football stadium and some of the other damage that they had, but I didn't realize that this had happened, and so Lowe's actually gave them a grant. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I think so too. And just for some corporation like Lowe's to acknowledge us on a local level. I mean, I know that we have the Lowe's here, but just for them, corporate Lowe's, and I think that's
It was
wonderful.
a hefty chunk of change, too. Not too shabby, huh?
$50,000.
Well, hopefully they'll be able to rebuild, and then we can go out and see what they've done, with the money, and be able to help support them even after this.
Absolutely. Okay, so how about we do a crazy story now?
This one kind of made me chuckle when you sent it to me. I'm not going to lie.
Here's the headline, folks. Exploding toilet injures 2 workers at federal building. That's not something you read every day.
It's not something you read every day, and what surprised me the most is actually the Department of Homeland Security. You just kind of wonder, okay, how
Yeah, they were injured. Yeah.
By a toilet. Just too much water pressure.
And it wasn't just like they were injured. One was taken to the hospital they were non-life-threatening injuries, but anytime you have to go to the hospital, that's not good.
I'm just wondering what the doctor was thinking, when he said, well, tell me what happened,
Well, I was hit by a toilet,
Yeah.
by an exploding toilet.
So was it just so much pressure in there? I guess the engineering staff had to come in and do
Yeah.
some damage
Yeah,
control.
I think so. And the story says that the GSA sent a memo to the employees in the building saying, do not use the bathrooms. Just kind of reminds me of that movie Ace Ventura where he's like, do not go in there.
Oh my. Well, hopefully they've gotten it all under control now and it will be safe to go to the restroom.
It says that they do. It says the explosion was due to a control system malfunction that caused a rise in pressure in the water storage tank. So,
Strange things, you never know.
you never know. Okay. So Lacey, what would you do if, God forbid, you were robbed and your phone was taken away? What would you do? Who would you call? You're shaken up and you're...
Well, if my phone was taken, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on this story. I don't really understand.
Well, I don't really
What happened?
either. Well, I think what happened is the gunman forced his way in after he knocked on this girl's door. And this happened in Chattanooga, but it made national news. Here's what I don't understand. He took her phone, and the way I understand, he left. And then she took to Facebook. Why didn't she just go...
Run to a neighbor's
Yeah.
house and get the phone? I don't know. Maybe she didn't know where he went after that.
That's true.
I don't know. When I first read over it, I missed the part where it said he took her cell phone, and I'm thinking, why did she go to her computer and report this robbery instead of just picking up her cell phone or updating it from her cell phone? So, but when you think about it, I guess if you're, stranded or if you can't, get the message out any other way and you have a computer nearby, I don't know. It's interesting because I think in the future we'll see technology and TV and communications, computers, it all kind of merging together, and I wonder if that will be, maybe you'll be watching us from
Maybe
the computer
so.
in 5 years. Who knows?
I've heard people say before that newspapers are almost extinct because so many people read them online.
Well, and you can buy subscriptions too online, and then you don't have to worry. It's greener.
Yeah.
You're not printing off so many
TV
papers.
shows too. A lot of people watch their TV shows on the computer. So
Yeah, hi Dad, if you're watching.
this show, some people are watching this show.
Real men watch Gurlfriendz. I think
That's
that's my
right.
new slogan. Yes.
That we need to make T-shirts that say that. That's funny. But the girl's okay. I don't think they've caught the suspect in this story, but
Hopefully they'll do a follow-up story, and she'll give us some tips on what to do. So.
It shows you how important social media is.
It is. Even though it can, it can cause chaos and it can be dramatic. But we've actually got another example of kind of the first social network. Carrie, tell us a little bit about this.
Okay, this story, it's from a man in Canada. He has tossed more than 4,000 messages in a bottle into the Atlantic Ocean in the past 15 years, and in turn, he has received over 3,000 replies, which is pretty incredible that people have, found it and taken the time to respond to these. And the article just says that he used discarded juice containers to hold his letter. He dates each one, and he asks the finder of the bottle to respond.
I thought that was fantastic, and it actually said toward the bottom of the article that they don't, he will not put his phone number in there because he knows if he does that, people will pick up the phone and call, or if he puts his email in there, they'll try to email him, and he wants letters. He wants to see, I guess that personal touch. And so,
kind of like the first friend request.
It really is. But you lose something in the ocean and you always wonder what happens to it or where it goes. And
I lost a pair of goggles in the ocean once, and I'm still a little bit bitter about that.
Sunglasses are usually the number one topic,
But it says that this man usually gets about 150 Christmas cards. He gets souvenirs, Christmas gifts, and he says he just loves doing things the old way. I say it's worth a try if we're going to get all these presents in the mail.
And I love the handwriting, too. I don't know how many times I've had to write something by hand, and I go, oh, like that's not as good as it was, in elementary school when you're practicing every day, but we're so used to typing.
We are. I think that the idea of a handwritten note is something that's lost. It's a lost art.
It is, especially thank you notes.
Yeah.
Handwritten thank you notes.
Yeah. And I love stationery.
You do. I
do.
can tell. I can tell. But they have a lot of cute stationery in downtown Chickamauga too at the shops, like the galleries on
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said that. We might be ready for that commercial there, Galleries on Gordon, because they're having Shop Hop this weekend.
Are they really?
They
now, this
are.
is the 50s.
50s and 60s.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I think that's fun because they're going to have that kind of music going. And drinks, refreshments, snacks, and then sales. Lots of good sales. I was in there the other day, and she had some very cute fall scenery items, and she told me she was about to get her Christmas stuff out. So if you are in the mood to start thinking about the holidays, I'd say definitely go check out the Galleries on Gordon. And Shop Hop, I believe, is going to begin at 11 a.m. this Saturday, and the address is 111 Gordon Street, and they're located in the heart of downtown Chickamauga. Very cute store.
Yeah, you can't miss it. Their windows are gorgeous.
She does such a great job on her window scenes.
They have so many different and unique things. They have candles, they have picture frames, lotions. I love lavender, and they have dried lavender, and you can buy it in the sachets and put it in your laundry to make your laundry smell nice and fresh.
She's also got this very cute new line, and I put the link on my blog, and we'll give you the address for that in just a little bit. But it's called Natural Life, and she's got these owls, cute things for what I would think of for teenage girls. Very cute.
Oh, I think I did see that. They have maybe the bookmarks and the necklaces. Yes.
And that's new. So go see Marquita, the Galleries on Gordon.
Oh, and the melon patch. The holidays will be here before you know it, and so will this commercial. Kids will be out of school and schedules will be hectic. Don't miss out on spending time with your friends and family this holiday season. Sit back, relax, and let the Melon Patch handle all of your catering needs. Call Karen at 706-375-7300 to see what options are available and place your catering order today. Friday's special, that's tomorrow night, is catfish.
Yum.
That would be good. And Saturday's special, fried chicken and chicken casserole. You can't go wrong with chicken.
I love their chicken casserole. It is so good.
Their hours are Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. until 8 p.m., and Sunday 11 a.m. until 2 p.m., and Wednesday they are closed. Go visit Karen Deck down at the Melon Patch at 2697 Johnson Road in Chickamauga.
Hi, our guest is here. We are so happy to welcome Millie Smith with us tonight. Millie was on season four
Yep.
of The Amazing Race, so some of you might remember her from that, but we're going to find out about what she's been up to since then. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I love seeing girls get out there and tell good stories in our local community. It's fantastic. So happy to be here.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about what you experienced during the Amazing Race?
Sure. Before I did the race, I was always kind of an adventure junkie. Loved any kind of adventure racing, and I loved travel. So I had traveled a good deal internationally and had lived overseas and taught English. And then some of my friends said, "You have to do this race. This is so up your alley." Well, that was really before reality TV had kind of become the animal that it is today. So I did not know what I was getting into. I thought I was going to go participate in a really cool race with $1 million prize. And, then we did get 6 weeks of travel around the world. It's a lot of travel. It's more intense than the way you really see it on TV. Watching it, I thought there is no way it can be as intense as they portray it to be, but the travel really is that concentrated, and you just never sleep, you never stop, you rarely eat, and a lot of time on planes. So
does the TV show make it seem more glorified than what it was?
It's as adventurous as the TV show makes it, and it's definitely harder than you can imagine, because airline travel and travel in general just wears you out. So you are really doing an athletic competition, and you're doing it on little sleep and sometimes little food and a lot of stress. So it was more intense than I realized, but I loved the travel. I loved the challenges. My favorite thing I did was jump off the tallest building in Europe. So that kind of adventure I was all up for. The hard part was, navigation and stress and not a lot of sleep. But I loved it, and it definitely exposed me to more international experiences and more diversity, especially we were in some very poverty-stricken areas. So that was just another international experience for me to open my eyes to some of the needs of communities around the world that are less fortunate than our communities are here in the United States. And it just kind of cemented my desire to go back and help and continue to explore the world and learn more about those who are living different lives than we get to live.
So 6 weeks. Tell us where all you went during that time frame.
Oh my gosh, I haven't done the rundown in a while. I was all over Italy, so Milan, Venice was beautiful. One of my favorite places I went in Italy was the Dolomite Mountain Range, which not a lot of people hear about, but everyone should go there. It's just this beautiful Italian village with these incredible mountain peaks that are part of the Alps, and so we zip-lined from one peak to the other, and it was just really amazing. And then from Italy we went to France, and we were in Austria as well. We traveled through Germany, and then India and Malaysia. So really kind of made your way around the globe, and we started in California, so kind of did the big west to east push.
Were you ever nervous?
Oh my gosh, yes. We started in Dodger Stadium, so sitting there waiting to actually go, and it's $1 million, and so you're just like, oh, this is so much on the line, and everyone looks so ready, and you feel so unprepared, and so you just kind of sit there and size up the competition and get nervous. And that's when I was nervous. I was nervous about winning. But that was really the only time I had a battle of the nerves. I just didn't want to lose. So that was the tough part.
Tell us about, you actually traveled to Nairobi, Kenya, and did a lot of work there. And I know you mentioned kind of getting out of your element sometimes helps you appreciate what you have back home. Tell us what that experience was like.
Yeah, I really, really recommend travel, especially for women. I think it's so easy in our culture to just get comfortable, and I love what travel does for women, because I find that when women are exposed to issues of suffering, our empathy and our compassion, it just really gets ignited, and then change happens. And I have never experienced a woman traveling to some of these really disadvantaged communities and not leaving changed and saying, I'm going to do something to make a difference for these people. And so I just really can't stress enough how travel and the blessing of being able to go visit and sometimes serve in these communities has impacted my life. After the race, I did go to Nairobi, Kenya, and Nairobi is home to a slum called Kibera. And unfortunately, Kibera is a really unknown slum, even though it's the most populated slum in Africa. To give you an idea of what Kibera is like, it's the size of Central Park, and it's 1.6 million people living in that size of land, and they have no government services because they're not recognized as citizens. So they have no sewage system, they have no trash system, they have no medical services, and they have a 1 in 4 AIDS rate. So if you can imagine that kind of poverty and that kind of real unsanitary conditions, and then you concentrate disease and viruses like AIDS, and it's just heartbreaking. The alleys are really just filled with sewage, and you find orphans lining the sewage playing unattended because their parents likely are gone due to the AIDS virus. So I went and volunteered there and served with my church. And Chattanooga is a community that is supporting Kibera, and it's one of the few communities in the United States that's supporting ongoing work in Kibera.
Really?
So yes, there's definitely opportunities for local people to get involved, and we are trying to raise more and more awareness and build more of our support system for this community. So through North Shore Fellowship and some New City Fellowship, we are working in this community. After traveling to Kibera, I actually began to work full-time for World Vision and promote their work fighting the AIDS crisis in Africa. So it really changed my life. I started a different job and left Chattanooga, started traveling full-time, and definitely transformed me in ways I had not imagined it would.
That's just remarkable and good for you.
Oh,
Are you from Chattanooga originally?
I am. I'm right up the road. East Ridge is my stomping ground. I have a huge family here. I call us the Waltons. We have a family compound, and we share. There's a couple of houses, and lots of animals and that kind of thing. So grew up here, and just really was blessed with a wonderful family and wonderful educational opportunities and opportunities to travel. And I had a mom that really encouraged risk-taking, which is another wonderful thing I think we can do for our women and girls, is encourage bravery. And so my mom always just said, go teach in Taiwan or go to Africa and work in the slums. And so because I had that supportive system with my mother, I think that it encouraged me to see a world bigger than East Ridge and Chattanooga, and I'm grateful for that support.
I think we have a caller, Carrie.
Hello?
Caller, are you there?
Yes, I just want to call and to say to Millie she was one of the teams that we were really rooting for, and I'm so excited about her testimony that she's giving about being brave. I think it's a great thing for young women to know that they need to be brave and they need to face challenges that are out there for young girls today. And I'm just really excited about the show tonight. It's so good to see you, Millie. You're beautiful.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I just ran in here from a meeting, so that's super nice of you to say. I was like, not enough time for makeup. But you're so kind to call. Thank you for, and I want to say, I hate that we disappointed our fans and we lost. That was so disappointing because we really came close, and thank you for rooting for us.
It was great to see you every week. My only question, and I'm going to ask this, is how you guys feel like you packed so fast since you only had to look like each time a little tote bag. It was exciting to see, and I was thinking to myself when we were watching, oh my goodness, how does she get all her things in there? So I'm going to have to comment on that, but it's really great to see you tonight.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for listening tonight. And I just want to support what these ladies are doing. This is just so incredible for our community. I'm glad to know it's here. So keep listening. And I definitely have some online materials if you're interested in getting involved in the blogging, in the support for Kibera. I'm blogging about it and blogging about what Chattanooga's doing and what we're doing beyond Chattanooga and nationwide, connecting our girls to girls in these at-risk communities overseas. To answer your question about packing, well, I had packed, thinking they're going to give us supplies and we are going to have some opportunities to replenish our stock of shampoo and conditioner, and you're on TV, so you kind of want to try to look good, but I am so competitive. So right away we realized that was not the case, that we were carrying all our own stuff all the time and that it would get heavy and you're running. And so probably 2 weeks in, we were like, we're getting rid of the shampoo and the conditioner and the makeup. And, my teammates started kind of weeding through my backpack and taking out things that I thought were important, but he thought, no, we can win this if we eliminate from our backpack. So by the end of the race, I looked rough. I mean, my hair was like this, and I was like wishing I had the conditioner. So, we packed really light compared to a lot of the other teams because we were more about winning than looking good. And then we did some of the packing out as we went along. It's tough, and you wash your clothes every night in the sink, so they don't give you a chance to go by.
It's not glamorous.
Not glamorous, but the people on there look really good when you're watching. And you're like, how do they look so good? I didn't feel like I had that.
What's that guy's name? Bill.
Oh, I know. Now he has a full wardrobe. He gets pampered, but we had it rough.
I remember one episode where you were in India, and I believe I remember it brought tears to your eyes to see a lot of the kids, the poor areas. Can you talk a little bit about that? Yes,
I'm glad you asked about that because when I look back on the race, there are lots of moments when you're being followed by cameras and it's 24/7 and there's a camera in your face for 6 weeks and you're tired and you're stressed and kind of irritable, that you look back and you're like, wow, I regret that and I regret that. And I really regretted being in India and being around these kids that were so stricken with poverty and disease, and we weren't able to help. And you're still thinking, I have to get to the next spot, and I'm so competitive. And so I kind of regret not taking more of a moment to connect with those kids. And we had a lot of kids asking us for money. So it was very tough. That was the first shanty town I've ever seen. The shanty towns of India are very similar to the shanty towns of Africa. So that was my first moment of knowing that world even existed. We went to sleep. We had to camp outside this shanty town. And so when we arrived there, it was dark. And you just think you're sleeping beside like a big landfill. You don't realize this is homes. And so the next morning, that is their home. And you wake up the next morning and you're groggy and you're looking around and you see out of this like plastic hut kids crawling out in little school uniforms with backpacks making their way out of what looks like a landfill to a school. So it was eye-opening, but you don't really have enough time to process it. That's why I'm really grateful that after the race I did get to go back to a community like that and really engage and understand.
You can't turn your emotions off. Even though you're in a race, you still feel for those people.
You do. And I really, I'm going to cry about it now. I have always had a heart for kids. And so knowing that that is the daily life of a child, it kind of is hard to even put your place in. Once you see it, you still can't really wrap your brain around it. But I really wanted to have a chance to go back and make a difference, and so I was hoping would win. But even though we don't have the money, I still am blessed to get to make a small difference in a little way around in my little corner of the world where I'm working.
Well, and a small contribution there can go a long way too, as far as school supplies and clothing and things like that.
Yes, and one of the ways I think that we can serve them the best, I'm not a nurse or a doctor, and I don't have any inclination like that, but just being aware of the situation is a real service to them, because people have forgotten them. Most of these slum towns are slum towns because of government issues where this group is being ostracized and not recognized. So giving them a voice and just telling their story is a step towards someone who does have the money or does have the skill to serve them to go. So telling their stories and being aware of what's happening is something we can all do, even from the United States.
So if someone's in Chattanooga, this area right now, they may not have the means or the time to actually go there, but what can they do to help?
Well, like I said, number one, I think, is awareness. I think especially among the Christian community, when I worked for World Vision, one of the problems they were having is with the AIDS virus being so rampant in sub-Saharan Africa, their work was losing support among Christian communities. When World Vision decided we're going to help support the cause of the AIDS orphan and we're going to fight the AIDS virus in Africa, many church members in the United States said we don't want to support World Vision any longer because there's still the stigma attached to AIDS and there's a stigma attached to Africa, and why is it so bad there, and why can't they do what we've done here and fight the virus as well as we have. So I was educating audiences just on why things are the way they are, and I think there is a huge kind of stereotype of what the situation is. And once you learn what it's like to live in that level of poverty, and once you learn the opportunities that these people do not have, you understand why the virus is like it is in Africa. So first of all, I would say just having an open mind and overcoming those stereotypes and understanding the issues. And then second, sharing the stories. And then if you don't have the means to go, even though we do have local churches that send people every summer, so if you want to know more about that, I'm happy to plug you in. But if you don't have the means to go, then getting involved in some of these groups, they take school supplies there. You can learn more about what those organizations are doing and connect to them in ways that you feel comfortable doing.
So where can they go to see your website?
Well, it's funny that you asked me that. I need to change the name of my website to something more catchy, because it's my name right now, and it's a very long name. So it's Rachel Millicent Smith at WordPress.com, and it's actually called Lessons from the Least of These, Stories of the Strong-Hearted. When I went to Africa, I was going to kind of find my calling, and I found a lot of strong-hearted women there. I was blown away by the strength of these women, and it kind of inspired me to be that type of woman, or try to be that type of woman, to aspire to that. I'm definitely not there yet. So I call my website The Stories of the Strong-Hearted, the lessons I'm learning from the least of these. And I will send you a new abbreviated name, and you can put it on your website or wherever you guys have, because I don't expect you guys to know my whole name.
Millie, one thing I wanted to ask you, we talk a lot on here about social media and networking and how you're able to spread the word. How has that helped you in getting these stories out and drawing attention to your cause?
Well, one of the things I've been blown away by is how many people are operating to support these communities, even though Kibera is an unknown in Africa, and people really, it's not that it's unknown, it's just that people don't want to recognize the problem. There have been organizations across the United States, quietly working in this little school or in this little orphanage, but they're not connected. And I think there's power in numbers and connecting us and saying, well, we're sending school supplies and we're sending school supplies and let's join our efforts. I mean, with my time spent in Los Angeles, I've found 2 churches supporting Kabir in schools, and they're doing exactly what Chattanooga churches are doing. And through my blog and through social media, I've connected the dots so that we can all say, hey, let's combine efforts and think about what's working for you. So I think one of the things that's been really effective with social media is just empowering people to know what everybody around the world is doing so we can join our efforts and not waste money and waste our efforts. Secondly, I think the awareness of the problems. You can go online tonight, Google Kabira, and learn everything there is to know. And really, that wasn't available, a decade ago, that kind of information. And what they're finding is with the slums, having this opportunity with social media and Facebook and the internet, that's going to be the way these kids have a chance, because their stories get told and they actually give cell phones to these kids and they can connect to people outside of the slum and maybe have a chance to get out of the slum and go to college. So technology is changing the way we help people for sure.
That's incredible.
I'm excited. It's going to be amazing in 50 years. We'll see what happens.
So I know you've traveled all over, it seems like. Is there a destination you haven't been to that you just have to go to at some
Yes.
point?
I could travel endlessly. I would love to go back to India. There were so many places I loved that we were there just for a few days and then we're gone. And so I'd love to go back to India and spend time there. I loved the people. But we were eliminated before Australia, and I really wanted to go to
that
Australia.
was one of the places
That was
you
where
said,
I wanted
yeah.
to go.
Do you want to go there?
Yeah, let's go.
I'm up. Let's make a trip. We can go do some work in Africa and then head over to Australia and go surfing. So, yeah, I would love Australia. And they got to swim with sharks and stuff.
Oh,
I
yeah, I don't know
like.
about that part. I don't know if I would do that.
I think I'll pass on that.
Well, I just want to do that. But, there's not a country I don't want to go to. I want to hit it all. Antarctica, I would even do that even though I hate cold. So.
What about domestic traveling? What's your favorite location you've been to in the country?
Oh, that's a good question because I haven't done as much domestic. I have lived in California off and on since school. I went to college out there for an internship, and I love the California coastline. It's just amazing because within a few hours of each other, you can be skiing or you can be at the beach, and the coastline there is magnificent. I'd love to spend time up in the New England states right now in the fall. I've never done that, and I hear it's
Vermont,
amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So
leaves.
those are my target areas. What about you guys? Did you pick your favorites?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, as far as international, I'd love to go to Paris. I've never been. And last year I went to New York for the first time, but I went on Memorial Day weekend and did the whirlwind tourist tour.
Yeah.
And by the time I figured out the subway system and how to use it, we were leaving. So I'd like to go back there.
It's so fun. So if you go there, you have to let me know. I'll go with you. I'm
Okay,
always
yeah,
looking for New
yeah.
York buddies.
Well, and now, speaking of technology, they have all of these apps where you can just put in your phone where you're trying to get to, and it will tell you which subline to take. I wish I had that.
Yeah.
I am so clueless when it comes to that, so that would definitely help me. I need to have that next time.
I'll come armed with technology.
Yeah. And I said Australia and Ireland.
Oh, I didn't do Ireland either. I'd love to go there. So, do you have family from Ireland?
My last name is of Irish origin, but
Okay.
so way back there.
You could trace your heritage.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yes,
and
thank
I
you,
can
Millie.
link your website to ours so people
would
can
love
visit
that.
And can you put that up there for us real quick? That website link?
Lots of great information for sure. And I hope we've inspired somebody to just, pick a destination and see where it takes you.
For sure. And you ladies you should go. You should go find a place to work. And if you want to get in touch with me, let me know. I'd love to plug you into some great efforts. And I think the more women we can get engaged in these trips, the better. I love to see the women make the difference. So all about it. And thank you for having me. I'm glad you guys are around.
Thank you. Well, I think we have time for one giveaway. So we'll take caller number, you want to do number 2?
Number 2, lucky number 2.
And you get to tell us where you'd like to go. So, and I'll tell you what you're getting. You're getting a shampoo cut and style from Katie Wilson.
I just had mine done last week. I think we've got one caller. Let's see.
Hi, caller.
Caller? Are you there, caller?
Yes, I am.
You're number 1, but we'll still let you tell us where you'd like to go.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I think we've got another caller over here.
Hi, caller.
Hey,
Hi there. Can you tell us where you'd like to go travel?
where I'd like to go travel? Well, just anywhere. My husband was in the Navy 20 years, and we traveled quite a bit. So.
I think your name's showing up on the caller ID. I think I know who your husband is.
You do?
I do. He's a sweet man.
He is one of the greatest.
Okay, well,
I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. Okay, well, we will leave this at the station for you. Do you know where your where the station is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you for
great.
watching.
Where's the beauty shop?
In Ringgold, right across from Applebrook Daycare. Do you know where that is?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's where it is.
Okay, hon, I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.